Welcome to Emotion Education, the lessons I wish were taught to me about emotional intelligence. Today's episode will be about limerence, and if you're thinking, what's that? Don't worry, that's pretty much the point of this video. I didn't know about it until recently, and I really wish that someone had explained the concept to me. So what is limerence? Limerence is a physiological and mental state that's also sometimes called being madly in love. However, whereas love is a stable emotion that is built over time, limerence occurs in a rush. Limerence is when you fall in love with the idea of someone or who you perceive them to be, rather than who they are. It's falling in love with your own delusions about them being the one. This is why it's so fast-paced. It often occurs when you don't even know the person that well. The feeling is characterized by high emotional reactivity, obsessive thinking, intrusive thoughts, and a need for reciprocation. This need feels all-consuming and can be super dangerous. You can have huge mood swings based on how much you think they like you back. One day, you might feel amazing, euphoric, incredible, and the next, you might feel absolutely miserable. Because of this, limerence can be incredibly damaging, and it's important to recognize when you're feeling it, especially because it often disguises itself as true love. I'm going to share my experience in the hopes that you can take something away from it. I felt this way about my previous partner of 2 years, which is, not coincidentally, about the exact duration that limerence can last. The story starts when my friend confessed that she liked me romantically. I hadn't really seen her that way, but she was one of my closest friends, and I was happy to give it a shot, so I asked her out and we started dating. The story starts when my friend confessed that she liked me romantically. I didn't feel the same way, but I was willing to give it a shot, and so I asked her out and we started dating. Soon into the relationship, my perception of her changed dramatically. I went from viewing her as I would any other person to seeing her as completely flawless. I began to have obsessive thoughts about her, and I began to ignore all of her negative qualities and only see her positive ones. It's almost universal that people go through this honeymoon phase at the start of a relationship, and it can be totally healthy. It just wasn't in my case. The problem arises when your mental image of someone doesn't line up with reality, and eventually it won't. If you don't update your perception of them, it can lead to incredibly unhealthy dynamics. In my case, some of her behaviors were harmful to me, but I didn't set boundaries that I should have because I had this limerent feeling towards her. Whenever I communicated that I wanted some of these behaviors to change, she would claim it wasn't fair to act as though she wasn't good enough, and this is where limerence comes into play. Because I put her on a pedestal, I let her convince me that I was actually the problem and I just needed to be more understanding. I wanted to maintain my fantasy that I found the one, so I ignored all the issues that were hurting me. I made excuses for her constantly. I got really good at mental gymnastics to focus only on the positive qualities. And I even deluded myself into thinking she had some great qualities that she simply didn't. I was so addicted to my false perceptions of her that I stayed in a relationship I knew was hurting me. Eventually we broke up, yada yada. I was super sad. I got better with time. But I was doing some research and I discovered limerence. This was a complete eureka moment for me. It explained all of my behaviors in this unhealthy relationship. So what's the takeaway from this video? While limerence can be incredibly euphoric, it can also lead to some unhealthy relationship dynamics. Here are a few signs you might be experiencing limerence. And here are some more. Now, if you recognize you feel this way towards someone in your life, what do you do? That will be covered in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. If you'd like to support me or my content, I have a Patreon, or you can also just subscribe or like the video. I'm a college student just trying to help people and make my dream a reality, so if you want to help me with that, it would mean a lot if you liked the video, shared, subscribed, Have a great day!